that image, and they play on that image.
Right. So in your book, From Charm to Harm and Everything Else in Between with a Narcissist, do you walk people through the process of staying in a relationship with a narcissist, or is this like recovery that you are helping to share?
Right. Basically what we're doing with, anyone that's working in this field is trying to get them to go no contact or minimal contact.
Okay.
So in my book, it's all about the journey to recovery. I'll start out with things like the overwhelming confusion and understanding the road to recovery, talk about red flags that we experience,
what are some red flags? Like what would be a red flag that you're in a narcissistic relationship?
Oh, wow, there's thousands of them. If they, circular conversations, when, say, for instance, Robin, you and I are in a conversation, and I say to you, Robin, I am angry at you for A, B, C, and D. Mm-hmm. And then you want to get back at me and say, well, no, you have that wrong. A narcissist is going to skip to another level. They're going to deflect. They're going to make it so that you are wrong. It's about diminishing the person. There is no it's always me, the narcissist is what I'm trying to say. There's no you or no I in this. So you start to see that after the love bombing or the charm, when they charm us in, then, a lot of people say, well, why did they go through that? Well, they couldn't come to us as what they really are. That would scare us away. So they had to pull that in. And then the second thing that a lot of people don't understand is that because they don't possess empathy and because they don't have emotional, a connection or any maturity at all, they can't keep up that facade. So that's why we see that monster peeking out from that mask. And then all of a sudden, once they're done with it, like a toddler that has a pile of toys, a new toy comes into their life, they jump to that, and that mask, falls right off their face, and then we see who they are. But they stick. They stay there until they can secure their other supply, and that's when we're taken down that road, where they basically annihilate us. They diminish us at every level, and it takes us to that point that we believe it's us. That's what they're telling us. It's you, Robin. It's you, Mark. It's not me. And, you mix that with that love, that emotion that, we feel for them.
Right. So, like, if you're an empathetic person, if you have empathy, you're like, oh, it's me. Let me change who I am to accommodate them. And then it'll be fine. Right.
And, and it never is fine. And they play on that.
And when you're
they
talking...
also know that, and they play on that aspect, too, knowing that we will do that.
Right. I was going to say, when you were talking earlier, Greg, maybe you think of the narcissist as the wolf in sheep's clothing, but you're the sheep and you're alive, and they're using you as kind of a buffer between other people, and they're, eventually they do skin you if you let them.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. You know what? The thing is, and that's a great example, they use us, everything is externalized again. So they may need a wife or a husband. They need to be the saint and the best little boy or girl where they work. They may be a pastor at your church. They could be a doctor or anything, So a lot of times they can be in the highest positions, or they could be the lowest, whatever, person that doesn't have a job and, does drugs. But they're always going to abuse people. We can't say that a person that is a physician or a lawyer isn't a narcissist, because they can be quite intelligent. What they're lacking is a personality disorder. So they're lacking empathy and any real connection to emotions, but they're functioning in our world. So that's how we get tangled up with them. A lot of times people say, well, they're looking for codependent people. Yeah, but, codependency is such a wide word. They'll take whoever connects with them. And they're playing that, just like playing poker. They're trying to see what it is in you, how far they can get. Because some people meet narcissists and they think, man, that person's a jerk. And fortunately in my life, I didn't have that luck. I kind of went the course, and, suffered all the horrendous consequences. And that's what led me to a sight and understanding it, and then concluding what people needed to, recover or get to recovery. And that's what we need, is that understanding.
Understood. So one thing we talked a little bit briefly before the show was about children, If it,
right.
It's one thing when you are able to distance yourself from a narcissist, no contact. But if that's a family member, it's not such an easy thing. So sometimes it's almost like you have to, how do you coach someone who's either still a kid or